In most fantasy games, points and values live separately. But what if they work together? A very Merry Christmas and festive welcome to part 55 of the journey from idea to fantasy sports platform in 100 days or less. Today, I'm going to talk about one of the core features of the platform, the scoring system. I mentioned before that it's similar to other fantasy sports games, where player performance translates into points. But here, it's going to work a little differently. Let's take an example. In something like Fantasy Premier League, every player has both a value and a points total. The better they perform, the more points they get, but their value doesn't always move in sync. In fantasy tennis, I want to combine those two numbers into one. So a player's performance in each match will determine both their points and their market value. In other words, the number of credits it costs to hold one stake or share in that player. Now here's where it gets really interesting. We know some players like Sinner or Alcaraz are likely to perform well in most tournaments. They start with higher values because expectations are already built in. But I want to balance that out with the introduction of a system that weights performance relative to other players and their starting values. And that's where Einstein comes in with his theory of relativity. Okay, so we're not exactly warping space-time, but we're talking relativity nonetheless. Let's say Alcaraz, one of the top 5 players in the world, gets knocked out in the second round. Meanwhile, a qualifier ranked 80th in the world makes it just as far. In that case, Alcaraz's value might drop, while the qualifier's value might rise significantly. This is based on expected future value and creates a fairer, dynamic market where player values constantly adjust based on expectations versus results. It also stops people from stacking teams with all the top players and makes it more rewarding to spot underdogs early. When we officially launch, the initial player values will be based on their official ATP ranking points. It's not perfect, but it's a solid, data-backed starting point and probably the fairest way to begin. From there, performance in live tournaments will move values up or down based on this relative system. It's all about creating a living, breathing ecosystem that rewards both knowledge and strategy and keeps the experience balanced for everyone. Hit like, follow, and join me in part 56, where I'll reveal another unique way we'll be determining player value changes, a system designed to make things even fairer and keep true to founding principle number 7 around transparency and fairness.